So without further ado, let's go, guys! Yeah! Stock tracker, what is going on, man?
Not much, dude. How you guys doing?
Good, dude. Thank you so much for making the time to come on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely good to catch up.
I'm Marky Mark. My volume is hella choppy. Oh yeah, it is. It is. Let me see if I can. Thanks, Marky Mark. Appreciate you, man.
Good looking out.
Yes. Okay. How about now, guys? La-da-dee, la-da-doo. I think we're good to go now. But yeah, sorry, you guys. I had off on my mic here. But yeah, dude, it's been what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks, bro, since I've talked to you. So wanted to get an update on how you've been, man. How's life going? Are you at 2 million followers yet?
Oh God, no. I can barely handle the stress of what I currently have, but no, it's good, man. Yeah, it's been kind of an interesting week. You know, we finally like had some restocks after a very, very quiet month. So, you know, things got interesting. Um, yeah, trying to just chill out today because, you know, our weekends tend to be pretty quiet. And I played a little bit of Halo earlier with a buddy I haven't talked to in a bit. So
Oh,
that was definitely good.
that's cool, man. Marky Mark, thank you again for letting me know about the audio, man. You saved me. You saved my life, fellow moderator. Thank you for being here. And Jay Mysterio, what's going on, man? LERA, Askia Lewis, Shanice Wilson, Gavin Dickey. And yes, prayers going out to Ukraine for sure. I have been following it. I don't talk about it too much on Twitter, but it's been kind of nuts, man. I hope it hurts my heart to hear, what's going on over there, man. Very, very depressing stuff. I really do hope this comes out or ends sooner rather than later. Hey, Shelly Hunt, what's going on?
Yeah,
Um,
that's been hard to not pay attention to for sure. I feel you on that.
yeah, man, it's been everywhere. It's been everywhere, and luckily we have the benefit of escapism with our video games here, but every now and again the real world kicks in, real world news. But hopefully you guys can find a little bit of escapism tonight, so we can talk about games and some restocks. So hopefully you guys can,
Yes, definitely.
yeah, let
Yeah, and
me,
if nothing else, just try to be grateful for what we have for sure, man. Always. Yeah, so yeah, it's been pretty chill though. Yeah, for the most part, just kind of hanging out. Got burritos yesterday. That was a good call.
that's awesome, dude. What kind of burritos? Taco Bell?
Oh no, went to a burrito cart in our area. I
Oh,
actually we drive by this one all the time, and finally I really wanted to go there. It was a pretty good deal. It was like a giant burrito for like $8. So it did the trick.
that's awesome, man. Good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, I took some time off of work and feeling good. Having it was a weird week for me, but where I'm back in the saddle again. Even though I do need to let you guys know something at the end of the stream. But thank you so much for being here. Jay Mysterio says Stock Tracker helped me get an Elden Ring this morning. Oh, the collector's edition.
Yeah,
Let's go. So you have been keeping us up to date with those restocks, huh, Tracker? Those Elden Ring.
for sure. Yeah, and Elden Ring was definitely like a priority for me in terms of like collector's products. Yeah, I was personally very excited about that one, and yeah, we saw that kind of pretty late last night. It was showing that Elden Ring was actually purchasable through the collector's edition for PS5 in particular. was purchasable through the GameStop app, but actually not through like the normal page until like early this morning.
Oh,
Um, yeah, and so a bunch of people scored it last night, which was awesome to see. And so it actually ended up staying in stock longer, I think, because it wasn't showing on the webpage for a while.
so and you got both of them, didn't you? Did you decide on which one you wanted to open?
I have not decided yet, and actually, I really need to go to Best Buy today, and I probably don't have enough time to do it. To pick up both the copies I got back in like November that I pre-ordered, like the Xbox Series X version and the PS5 version. I am probably gonna like I don't know which one to open, man, because I want to play the PS5 version.
Yeah. Yeah,
So that
oh
might
yeah.
be that might have to be
And that's the one that's been harder to find, right? Is what I'm hearing?
for sure. Yeah, except for that weird GameStop situation, it's actually been extremely hard to get. Because of course, like even the PS4 version sells out in kind of seconds, and there will be like little restocks here and there on Amazon, but it still sells out super fast. So you can imagine if PS5 version shows up there, it goes super quick. The fact it was only showing in the app last night, I think, is the main reason it stayed in stock for so long.
Right, right. Askia Lewis says PS5 Nation. Let's go. We got some
Yeah,
PS5
buddy.
fans in the house. Mantalk Weller says Stock Tracker helped me snag a PS5 this past October. That's
Aw,
awesome. That's
that's
awesome.
great, man.
Um,
It makes my day getting to hear that, especially months down the road. And I just hope you guys are enjoying your consoles. That's awesome.
I know, dude. I could just imagine how much happiness you've brought everyone, man. So that's really awesome what you're doing. Hey Gavin, what's going on? But so I actually have a question for you guys in the chat. If you've played Elden Ring on the PS5, I'm a big fan of the DualSense. So let me know how it uses the DualSense if you guys think it uses it really well. So I haven't even bought Elden Ring yet, even though after the restock talk, I do want to talk to Tracker and ask his opinion on the game, and also from software in general, from software fans. If we have any in the house, let us know. And also I wanted to ask his opinion on the 3DS Eshop closing down. The couple of videos that I dropped about the recommended games you should get for the 3DS got a pretty good reception, so a lot of you guys want to hear about that also. But I have been spending a lot of time on Horizon Forbidden West. That's one of the main reasons I haven't picked up Elden Ring yet. Have you had a chance to try it out, Tracker?
So actually, I haven't gotten really a chance to play either of them because I still needed to finish up uh, Zero Dawn, which is fine because I finally got a new TV not long ago. So I'm really enjoying it. Um, like that game is so beautiful, and so I'm really excited to actually play Forbidden West. I've seen clips, but I'm trying not to spoil it too much for myself. And I actually haven't gotten to play Elden Ring yet as a result either. Yeah, I
Okay.
haven't been able to game as much more recently, but I'm gonna try to do a little bit more of that over the weekend for sure.
Nice, nice, man. What are you gonna play anything tonight?
I'm gonna play a little bit more Halo with my buddy. We're gonna try to catch up a little bit more before he has work tomorrow, and then my partner she jumps in with us sometimes when we're playing Halo, and that can be pretty fun, having the 3-person squad going.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, man. I just maxed out my battle pass in Halo, so once I maxed it out, I was like, there's not. It's fun, and it's a lot funner when you roll up in a crew, definitely with other
Yeah,
friends.
it's kind of limited right now. You know, there aren't, in my opinion, enough maps yet. I think a lot of us agree on that. Like, we need more options for that in Halo Infinite. But then, yeah, also, yeah, with games like that where you do have kind of like a smaller squad thing going on, what keeps you really interested in having a good time with it is usually the people that you get to play it with.
Right, right. Hopefully the stream is looking good for you guys. Not sure. YouTube keeps telling me it's buffering, but Jay Mysterio
Oh,
said,
much love, Marky Mark. Yeah, he got the sound bar, dude. Yeah, I got the same sound bar.
Oh, is this a soundbar that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
tweeted out about?
it is. Yeah, it's a deal that's going on with Best Buy right now. It's like a soundbar that's like $279.99, but it comes with $150 Best Buy gift card.
Oh,
I was like, what? This is a crazy deal. So first of all, it's a crazy deal, but I also picked it up for myself, man, and I love it. It's like super sleek, and I did get the LG C1, and it's an LG soundbar, and it's really nice, man. It's good for the price, and I didn't break the bank to have really good audio, so I'm super happy about that.
that's cool, man. That's cool. I gotta look into that. I live in a small place, so I play mainly with headphones on, but
Oh man, I feel that. Yeah, we
yeah.
finally like we're renting a house now, but we lived in apartments forever. And oh my gosh, apartment living, dude, with like people above you and below you and
Oh,
either side of you. Like, yeah, I totally could not enjoy this kind of audio without what we have right now.
oh man, yeah. Yeah, I'm hopefully looking into that soon. Um,
Yeah, roommates help. Yeah, we have roommates, and
all right. But that should help. Just have to make a little adjustment. But yeah, dude, other than that, before we get into restock talk, any crazy announcements or news you want to make or updates?
let's see. Nothing in particular. I mean, other than, what some folks here might know about already. I got a PS5 giveaway that I finally got worked out with Gleam and stuff. I was having issues with my Gleam link previously, but yeah, we'll have a PS5 giveaway going up through the 13th of March, so people can get entries
Oh,
for a chance to win that. It's my first time like going this big into using Gleam, so I'm pretty excited about it.
heck yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
so yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I haven't been able to do a console giveaway in a long time, so I'm
What?
pretty stoked about it.
Wow, guys, did you hear that, man? Stock Tracker giving away a PS5. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't get to happen often, so I'm gonna make the most of it and try to have a good time with it. I know I can't give like everybody a PS5, but if I can give away one to a person that I can make sure is a real gamer, I'm totally stoked to do that.
Definitely, man. Murdoch, thank you so much, dude, for those kind words, man. Hope your night's going good. So yeah, guys, if it starts buffering really bad, you can let me know definitely. But yeah, like Dadbot was saying, I don't know if it's YouTube's end or my internet provider, but I mean everything's looking good on my end. It's just might buffer for some of you guys. You can also manually choose the resolution if you want while you're watching us, or you can just listen to us if you guys want. It's cool. Um, so I forgot what was the first retail I was gonna ask you about, Tracker. Let's see. All right, man. So we saw Walmart this week, right? They dropped in the middle of last week.
Yeah, they finally did a restock. They were they had errors and stuff like the weekend before, where it's just showing that everything would be in this big restock event.
Wh-
And that didn't happen. It was
Oh
showing like
yeah.
apples would be in the restock event, socks would be in the restock event. So yeah, we did have an actual PS5 and Xbox drop. Um, yeah, and that was what was that on Thursday? Yeah, it was on Thursday
Yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
12 a.m. 12 p.m. Eastern. Goodness, time zones. Yeah, it seemed like a pretty big drop, honestly.
Yeah, so did you guys hear or did you hear that a lot of people were able to get theirs, or what was like the main problem that you were hearing about?
It's kind of the usual issue where like if somebody's in the queue and it counts down to like 1 minute, that it either just sits there for a long time or it gets down to there, counts down, and then resets back up to 10 minutes. That's kind of a common issue with their queue. One of the ways that you can sometimes get out of that, like with the getting stuck at 1 minute or any other time, is to like go to walmart.com, just like the normal homepage. And then sometimes it'll let you add to cart from there. But that doesn't work for everybody. So it's kind of one of those things, there's not a complete fix for it really, but there are things that you can try to still kind of break being stuck.
And what's like the biggest tip you can give us? Because I know you've given us tips before for Walmart, but for
Yeah,
like I guess new people who are just starting to try to get one, what's like the biggest tip you can give them for Walmart restocks?
for sure. Yeah, the main thing I would say is personally, I think the website works a little bit better. So whether that's like on a PC or a phone, just because it's easier to do to refresh leading up to the start of the drop, because that's the main thing is if you get in really early, generally, not every time, but generally people tend to have lower wait times if they get into the drop really early. If you get there like 2 minutes late, then your likelihood of getting a wait time that's just like, 35 minutes or something like that, your odds of getting that are a lot higher if you join later. And you can still potentially get through. Like people did start with like 35-minute wait times and actually still got their disc PS5.
Oh wow.
But your odds of getting a lower time are a little bit better if you can do that kind of refreshing trick ahead of the drop.
Okay, so people were waiting in line for up to upwards of 30 minutes and were still able to get it.
For sure, yeah. For disc PS5 in particular, but honestly, I saw like digital checkouts at least like 40, 50 minutes in.
Hmm.
So it was interesting. I mean, Walmart drops are kind of like one of the hardest drops either way. And in terms of like followers and stuff, I always lose the most followers on a Walmart day because it's so frustrating and so unfair how the queue can be. And
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
nothing you can do at a certain point other than just wait. That I think it really demoralizes a lot of people. So I hope they can fix some of those errors. It would be nice for it to be a little bit more fair because yeah, there are some people who are like, I refreshed like you said, and I got 6 minutes, and then I checked out in 6 minutes, and I was done. That was the easiest thing ever. And totally opposite situation for the next person. So
Yeah, and
yeah, it can still be pretty tough.
it can definitely feel disheartening when you see a lot of people posting wins and you're here thinking, what the hell did I do wrong? But that's just how it works a lot of times, you guys. You got to keep patient and keep up with your time of getting one's coming for sure, especially if you follow Stock Tracker on Twitter and just trust in the process because I know from firsthand experience it can be very frustrating. But don't let that deter you whatsoever, for
For
one.
sure, it's definitely still possible, and some restocks are just bad. Like some are just bad, and it's not your fault at all. It's like yeah, it's other things outside of you that you don't have any control over, and it's a pain in the butt sometimes. So yeah, be nice to yourself if you're having a hard time with the restock, because some of them are just bad. You know.
Yeah, like Marky Mark says in the chat, uh he was able to get that digital PS5, but with a 39-minute original wait time, it dropped to 5 minutes very quickly, like a matter of
Yes.
minutes. Yeah, the queue is weird. Definitely is.
Yeah, I've definitely seen that before. I think, yeah, ahead of the drop, I tried to mention to people like, if you start out with a high queue time, don't get demoralized because it can actually drop really fast. It's kind of like with PlayStation Direct, how people would see more than an hour and then all of a sudden it drops to like 10 minutes and you're like, what? How did that happen? Yeah, so it's totally possible. These queue systems are totally not perfect at all. Um,
But
and yeah,
they are
it
getting
takes
better though, right?
I will say, like, that's the thing is like we used to see Walmart drops where not a single person checked out. No
Yeah.
joke. Like across, multiple people who track any kind of restock thing, you would see that barely anybody checked out. And it was that bad. So while the queue is frustrating and difficult, I've seen way more people get a PS5 because of it. So, give and take, right?
Yep, yep, yep. Uh if they dropped this week and kind of taking a look at how infrequently they have been dropping, is it safe to say we're not going to see Walmart next week?
I don't think we will. I don't think there's a chance for that personally.
Yeah.
Um, uh, Typically with Walmart, the way I try to think about their drops is they give kind of like this 2 or 3 week window where they say that the orders are likely to arrive. So like say between like March 12th and March 16th is kind of the average for what I saw in this past drop. I think closer to mid-March then we'll probably see another restock. So yeah, I think they'll take at least a week or two off before Walmart does another big one.
All right. Anything else on Walmart Tracker before we move on to GameStop?
Let's see. I see what Marky Mark is saying here. He says, I prefer the Walmart queue way better than the old 10-minute wave system. I do agree with that because we saw a lot of issues with that back in the day. If you guys, there we go, James Mysterio misses the waves. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's
what
funny,
like the every
man.
10-minute thing?
Yeah, you'd see like add to cart pop up, and then you could add it to your cart, and then sometimes you'd have to wait for the next 10 minutes to be able to check out. And those were like some of those were the longest drops I've ever been through in my entire life. It's like 2 hours solid of them dropping every 10 minutes, right? Just like this
Yeah.
really slow path. So that was interesting times. Yeah, those could take a while too. I think it has improved generally, but there are just new errors to contend with, I think. But yeah, pretty big restock, I would say, from them this past week, and I wouldn't expect them to restock until probably mid-March.
Jay Mysterio says, "Man, 2 hours? You had to wait 2 hours for your Halo Xbox?"
The waves of that, oh man, I remember that day.
Oh, it was like Gary. Yeah, man.
Every 10 minutes, man, for 2 hours solid. That was rough.
16 likes, you guys. Dang, thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all for the support. So, what's up with GameStop? Uh, the last time I saw, have they even like continued dropping hints anymore on Twitter, or did they chill with that?
Yeah, they're still tweeting out hints. They hinted to the Xbox restock before that happened. And yeah, they did the Xbox Series X, so they're still doing that pretty actively on Twitter. You can kind of count on them to do it. So I do think odds are pretty good for a PS5 restock this week with GameStop.
Oh,
One reason is I do have a follower who had commented under my tweet replying to GameStop before about PS5, and you guys can go look at this. GameStop actually responded to them, I think, yesterday, kind of suggesting that that's going to be happening soon. So probably this coming week, because they do that from time to time. Like they'll do the big tweet where it's like, oh, you want to be a pro member if you want to get early access. And then sometimes they'll just reply to somebody who commented on their tweet like days later, like they did with you about the Halo Xbox thing. Like they'll reply later on, and you're like, hello, hey GameStop.
oh yeah, I remember that they tweeted a response. One of them was like, "Hey, we're gonna get that Halo Xbox," and then the next one was like, "We're not gonna get that Halo Xbox" within like the
Right,
day, and I was
kind
like,
of
"Huh?"
leading people on.
I was so confused, man. I was like, I don't understand, but okay.
Yeah, they were tripping us all up a little bit with that, but yeah, man, they do that from time to time. But it is pretty funny when they just yeah, they just kind of like reply to somebody. Just they'll pick somebody out and they'll be like, hey, keep an eye out. You're like, okay,
You're
I
like, what?
guess we'll be watching.
Hey, talking about GameStop really quick. They were the ones that were selling the Elite controllers, the Halo Elite controllers, but there's a new way to track those, right? Or like the options to get one of those at retail has decreased significantly, right? But is there another way? Am I
Yeah.
hearing something with Instagram or something?
So yeah, that was the most recent drop actually, was through the freaking, we talked about this too. We could go back, I think, a couple months for this, but the Instagram store. If you guys were following the Microsoft store on Instagram, and you had the app installed, you may have been able to purchase one through this last drop, though I was seeing for some people that they weren't able to actually see it within the app even. So if you can, and if there's a restock again, try to save it to your wish list, because people who had it saved to their wish list more universally were able to still access it and actually purchase it this time around. But they remove it from the site when the restock is over. So it's really tricky. You have to be quick enough to get it onto your wish list, as well as try to check out when they do that.
Okay. Okay, okay. Good stuff, good stuff. Take care, Dadbot. Have an awesome one, man. What name you're gonna pick next? Huh?
I'm trying to keep it simple, man. I didn't want to be PS5 restocks forever.
Oh.
Tracker is easy. I'm good with Tracker.
Yeah, yeah, man. Imagine keeping PS5
Yeah, so
restocks.
doing that for like PS10 or something, man.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
They'll
False.
be like, this guy really is an original. Wow.
He's an
20,
OG.
20 years later, man, he's still tracking PlayStation.
Paul says my Walmart PS5 delivery is taking forever. What should I do? Oh, that's a good question. Tracker, what do you think, man? I
Um,
would say reach out to customer service first and foremost and ask them what, let them know you're still interested.
yeah, it can. I mean, it's sometimes it really can just take about a week or two for them to come in. Walmart will ship in waves, and you'll find that some people will be receiving them this coming week, and then some people will be receiving them the next week. That's unfortunately just kind of one of the caveats to buying with Walmart is you might be waiting longer than some of the other people you'll see on Twitter getting them sooner.
Yeah.
And that does suck, but at the same time, like, we kind of take what we can get to a certain degree with restocks and stuff, and at very least you are getting a console without paying for a bundle. That's one of the biggest benefits of buying through Walmart or something like that. So yeah, you won't get it as quick as maybe GameStop might ship it out. Like GameStop often is pretty darn quick, and like Ant Online, but both of those retailers only do bundles. And I think that they kind of factor in having a faster shipping time into the, massive cost that they can sometimes ask for a bundle. So yeah, it could be this coming week, but it could be the following week. And it's usually the FedEx app that's first to update.
Okay.
So if you have like the FedEx app or like the delivery manager, you might get earlier updates than it shows on like your order history or something.
But hang in there, Paul. You're gonna get it, man. It might take a little bit longer,
You will.
but you'll get it. Don't.
Yeah, it's on the way either way.
There you go. And then you have
They
to
just do it in waves.
You're gonna have to come back and let us know what the first game you fire up on it is.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's always the best thing to hear, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then for GameStop, so actually, I wanted to ask you about this earlier, but I might as well kind of sneak it in. The Series X obviously is still sold out right now, but when
Right.
Walmart had their restocks, that Series X was in stock for quite a bit of time, if I remember correctly. And then the All Access Xbox has been on Walmart, or am I wrong in that? The one that
No, you're right. Yeah.
you pay within like what is it, the 48 month, no, the 24 month thing.
Yeah, yeah, it's one that you'd be paying off. Yeah, I think it's 24 months. That's the one that you don't have to pay anything up front, but you kind of have to get this kind of financing situation going. It's not all bad, and for some people it's actually a better option, but I think a lot of other people don't want to deal with kind of a payment kind of situation, and also applying for this kind of line of credit in a way. But
Yeah.
yeah, we did see actually with I have to say about the Walmart restock, Xbox Series X was in stock for a long time after PS5 had sold out, like for at least like an hour or two afterwards. So just about anybody with a Walmart Plus membership could have very easily checked out with an Xbox the other day.
And so is it? I don't know if I don't know if I should say it right now, but I honestly think the demand for the Series X has significantly gone down. But you're the person who tracks them like more consistently, so it would be good to hear from you what you think about it. Like, is the demand still there?
I think so. I'll catch you later, Jay Mysterio. Thanks for coming by, man.
Later, Jay Mysterio.
Yeah, so definitely demand has gone down for that. And I think part of that too is like demand for PS5 has gone up significantly higher again. So it's this weird, like big imbalance between those two. So yeah, even though we didn't have a whole lot of restocks for either console throughout February, it seems like Series X demand has stayed relatively low. Um, and yeah, it's kind of like we were talking about before with PS5, on the other hand, with especially Horizon Forbidden West coming out,
Oh
like
yeah.
that game just adds so much value to the PS5 console and so much hype and attention and desire. Like people just want to get one just to play that game on a PS5 for those specs and everything.
Yeah.
That it's just not at all in a same situation as the Xbox, where it's like, sure, you can play Elden Ring on the Xbox Series X, but you could play it on a PSC or PC. You could play it on Xbox Series S if you want to. So that kind of cross-platform thing just doesn't really drive people to want to get the Xbox right now, I think. So yeah, I mean, if you guys feel like you got to get a bundle, then that's totally fine. But if there are, retailers going for like $700 bundles for the Xbox Series X, that's pretty unreasonable at this point because demand is so low. Because we see with like Best Buy or like with Walmart Plus, it can sit in stock for a while. So it could be worth holding out if you guys are kind of like on a tighter budget, I'd say.
Yeah, in fact, Costco had a restock just today, right, for the Series X. And that wasn't a bad am I wrong in that? I thought I saw it pop up.
Today, no, it was both of the PS5 and the Xbox listings have been messing up today, and this is
Oh,
like one of
okay.
those situations where I want to tweet about it, but I also don't want to like notify people needlessly.
Yeah, it was one of
Um,
those, yeah, those messed up drops that wasn't really a drop.
yeah, it's where it just shows the add to cart button, but it just shows unavailable the whole time, and it was actually showing that like a couple hours ago.
Yeah.
And then I saw other people tweeting about it. It's like there was no drop. It was erroring out. So if anybody's feeling like they missed out on it, you didn't miss out on anything. Like it was just showing the add to cart button, and sites just do that sometimes. And so part of the challenge is, yeah, not you know try not to alert people to something that's like already kind of messing up. So yeah, no real Xbox drop or PS5 drop. What I think is probably going on is they're just messing with those pages. Costco's probably just messing around in the background, and that's all it takes. They could restock this coming week, though. We haven't seen a PS5 from them in a bit.
Okay. Yeah, if I don't see you tweet about it, I just ignore that. I call it like a false drop, basically.
Yeah, they're definitely common out here. We
Yeah.
see little things like that happen from time to time, and it's just part of the way it is.
Um, GameStop. So, I think I asked you already, right? Like, when do you think? You said you think they'll drop. The chances are good for this week.
Yeah, I think PS5 is probably pretty likely with GameStop this coming week.
Okay.
So that's something to look out for. I I don't know if they'll do in person or if they'll do online. That's the only thing I'm not sure about.
Yeah, 20 likes, man, guys. Thank you so much for that. Later, Paul. Have an awesome night, my friend. DJ Joe. What's going on, DJ Joe? And Gabo. What's going on, Gabo? Gabo says, Yerp. I love it. I love the energy, Gabo. Uh, yeah, $700 bundles, especially for the Xbox. Pretty rough. What about, can we jump into Best Buy? Is that cool?
Yeah, let's talk about Best Buy. I'm totally down.
Dude, what's Best Buy hasn't dropped anything. Uh,
Well,
Wait, did they
they
do
did
they did
they,
no, go ahead.
they
Let
did the
us know.
Xbox. Yeah, they did the Xbox Series X, but it was Total Tech only.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that was in stock for like 3 hours or more.
Good lord. This was the this was the
They're
Total
really
Tech
pushing that
Xbox?
membership that time, yeah. Yeah, and they usually don't do just Xbox in a day, but other retailers started dropping Xbox bundles and stuff like GameStop did on Monday, and Best Buy decided to drop Xbox as well. And require the total tech for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they actually like sold out, or if they just like eventually delisted it, like they just took it back out. Um, so, I mean, it's very possible we could see them do another restock this week, maybe public for Xbox, but I do think that Best Buy is long overdue for PS5.
Jucky! What's going on, Jucky? Canada? Canada Best Buy PS5 disc. Is that I don't track Canada or Tracker, do you track Canada stuff?
Yeah, I do. I keep an eye on it. Sometimes Best Buy stores in Canada will sell consoles in store, and that's kind of like a running thing. Like with here, we have Target that will have Xbox Series X in store from time to time. You might find PS5 in store at Best Buy's in Canada. But they'll probably do an online restock again sooner than later. Some of the more recent Canada restocks have been like Costco and Walmart and things like that.
All right. So I think Total Tech is still a pretty big. I think there's still a debate, and on if it's worth it or not. But I think we kind of talked about that at length. That it's dependent on the person. Like for me, it would be a waste of money because I'm poor, and I don't use it enough. So for me, it would be a
Right.
waste of money. But for someone else, I'm sure it would be a good value. Someone who buys a lot from them, right?
Marky.
What's he saying?
Sorry. He said Tracker tracks everything, even dollhouses in India. Not yet,
Hey,
man. Don't make me. People are like,
man.
what is this notification about, man?
I was so tempted to tweet about stuff like that during Christmas. Like I was like, hey, I can help everyone track like toys and stuff. But then I had to kind of stop myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to be pretty responsible ahead of Christmas time as well. I've been enjoying getting to track things like the collector's edition type stuff. That's been a lot more fun for me, and also like these cool electronic deals that we can find from time to time. So that's cool because it's like, man, as gamers, like we're not just looking for a PS5 at a certain point, like we're looking for good deals on stuff so that we can continue gaming and buying
Yeah.
more gaming stuff. Like there's no way that I could buy like a collector's edition for something if I didn't try to save money in other ways.
Right, right. Yeah. Speaking of thanks to everyone who ordered those pens that I tweeted about in December. You guys are the real ones, man. I hope you're enjoying them. They were some high quality gel pens. Really hard to find those these days. Good quality. Good quality pens.
I think,
Uh
yeah, we do still have ours.
oh, you got some too, huh?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we have a
Nice.
full set over here.
Man, yeah. Nothing like some good pen action.
Oh
Uh
yeah, you got to have them on hand, man. All kinds of colors.
Very true. Very true. Wouldn't be that would be the weirdest thing to like be. What if I start trending tomorrow as like the pen restock guy? It would be so weird, man. But you know what?
You
It's
got
a
to find the right
niche.
pen.
Yeah. I think like collecting pens is a niche. I think I need to start another YouTube channel about pen collecting, man. I'll probably blow up.
Dude, there are some pens out there that are hard to get. I bet you. I don't doubt it for a second.
I Oh, that's cool. Marky Mark says his sister enjoyed the pens. Man, pens are just like, they're very affordable and they bring a lot of joy to people, man. Like, when you need to just write something down, we live in a day and age where everything's through email and text messaging. And now it's becoming like actually really nice and a good gesture to take the time to write something for someone. Man, I'm old. I'm an old guy.
Man, I don't write like by hand as much as I used to, because I used to just like write by hand a lot. I used to like draw a lot more and stuff. And like I think recently I was like writing down a list for something. I was like, oh, I feel like my handwriting's totally different.
Yeah, dude, I forgot cursive. I forgot how to write in cursive. I just realized this the other day. It's
Huh.
It's
Yeah, well, I
insane.
mean, they're not teaching it anymore, so you can't, it's gone. No, I'm just kidding.
It is, yeah, dude. I forgot how to write. I think I write, and I have a weird writing style. I write all in capital letters, and my capital letters will be the same like size as a lowercase. A really weird thing I just threw in there, but Jucky wants a special edition pen. I'll look into that, my friend. Gabo is asking, is it worth trying to purchase a PS5 from Walmart? Will Walmart actually fulfill orders? Yeah, they will, man. They will. You just gotta make sure you have your correct payment information updated and you got enough money in there. Don't be like me and with $10 in my account try to order an OLED TV. You don't want to do that. They're just not gonna do it, man. Um. So anything else on Best Buy? So wait, when did Best Buy drop? I'm sorry, I missed that. You said Total Tech they dropped last week.
Yeah, Total Tech Xbox.
What?
Yeah, and I think it was on, was it Wednesday? I think it was on Wednesday. It was Tuesday or Wednesday. Yeah, and it was Total Tech only. So we'll see what they do this coming week. I think the odds for PS5 are pretty good for Best Buy sooner than later.
Okay, yeah. If they only did the Total Tech Xbox, then well, I'm gonna just make a guess. It's just a guess. It's speculative, but I think they're gonna do a Total Tech PS5 next.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance of that. I don't want to. I know it's not everybody's favorite. So, but yeah, I do think it's possible that that's going to be Total Tech. Um, but we've seen before with Best Buy that they can do like a Total Tech restock and then like a member or a non-member restock in the same week. So like public. So even if they do say a Total Tech restock on like Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, it doesn't mean that they won't do a public restock before the end of the week as well.
Alejandro Bautista, what's going on, man? That's a really, really good question for when we talk about Elden Ring in a little bit. I'm gonna remember Alejandro's question. Really, really good question. Um, Anything else on Best Buy tracker before we move on to Target?
Um, I don't think so. Nothing new for Best Buy in particular. Yeah, we'll just see what they do in terms of PS5. I do think PS5 is the likely console this coming week. And yeah, Shucky's right. Monday is always Total Tech Day for Best Buy, at least in particular for like PS5. But we did see that they had Total Tech for the Xbox, I think on like Tuesday or Wednesday, if I'm remembering that right. And when they did GPU before, I'm trying to remember exactly which day that was, but I don't think it was on a Monday. So I think they are trying to mix that up a little bit more. It's not just like a member Monday thing. So it is possible that they could still do Total Tech and on some other day of the week.
What's going on, Raven?
Yeah, and I think that's it for Best Buy. Yeah, I would consider them one of the more likely retailers along with GameStop. And yeah, Target. Perfect transition into Target.
Yeah, man. Let's talk about this Target. Um, so is Jake Randall still the number one source for Target, or what's going on here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I count on his network of sources quite a bit. And I do hear back from employees who let me know if there's like stock in back rooms and stuff. And I can say for sure that a lot of Target stores do have consoles in the back that are set aside for a PS5 restock. Of course, we never know what the exact day is with Target, but they're always within that 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern time frame.
Yeah.
So if they are going to drop, it's going to be within that time frame. And we also know that if they're going to drop within that time frame, that the console pages show up before the drop actually goes live. Usually about a half an hour before it goes live, the console pages will show.
Okay. And yeah, guys, so I mean Jake Randall's a really, really awesome source, of course. Wait, that kind of rhymed. Awesome source, of course, for Target. We all know this. But if you're not following Tracker, and go ahead and drop me a follow on Twitter also. We will update you guys because it's better to have multiple sources because like Tracker has Target employees reaching out to him also. It's good to have a bigger network of people when it comes to Target, you know. Um, and Target's very strange because I'm just gonna speak for myself right now, and then I'll ask Tracker what he thinks. But we've seen like smaller drops happen before. I don't think, and now this is just my belief, I don't think Target does universal drops. I really do think that certain areas drop before other areas, but that's just my 2 cents from what I've seen or experienced in the past. So the next time you think there's a universal drop and then you wake up and you see that your Target doesn't have any, more likely than not it happened a week before or something like that. But what do you think about that, Tracker? Do you think they actually do universal drops?
No, they skip like entire areas sometimes, and especially when it's like a smaller drop. Um, we'll see larger areas that get skipped entirely. When they have, like maybe 4 consoles in some stores too, it makes it a lot harder. So, yeah, you will see, some people will see that there's no stores that show any stock near them when a Target restock happens. And that's just because, yeah, those stores don't have consoles. They weren't allocated them in time, and Target decided to go on without them, basically. So that can happen. It's always my preference that Target takes more time off so that more stores can actually build up inventory
Right.
before they do a drop. That's what I would always prefer, because it sucks to have a very small restock like every week or two, as opposed to say like a really good, big, successful restock every 3 weeks. I know it takes more time, but it just works out so much better. The site operates better. You see more successful checkouts and pickups. So yeah, and so yeah, Target is actually quite overdue. There are a lot of stores that do have inventory in the back. So I feel like Target is definitely in my top 3 this coming week.
Okay. Ooh, top three. I like that, man. I like those odds. And
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
it's usually Thursdays and Fridays. Is that I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna happen Thursday or Friday, but uh,
Right. Yeah, it is.
Thursdays.
It is usually Thursdays or Fridays. That's right.
Uh,
Um,
yeah.
and yeah, so we don't know until we get there, kind of thing. But it is usually in the second half of the week, I'd say.
And then, and also for the Xbox, in-store targets check Sunday mornings. That's what I would recommend if you guys are looking for an Xbox at Target. We're not seeing them online
Yeah.
anymore, right?
No, I haven't. They haven't really restocked consistently online, and that's partially because a lot of stores just straight up sell them in person. So best bet for finding them is just, if you can, get to your store in the morning, basically every day that they open for a couple of days, maybe 4 or 5 days straight. If you can do that, you're bound to find one by doing that, I would say. And yeah, just try to get to know the staff a little bit more. They might be able to sometimes tell you if they have some coming in. So you
Okay.
never know. But the best way to find out is to check in regularly.
And so I'm actually eager to talk about this next retailer because they did something very interesting this past
Yeah.
week. Oh man, what the hell was up with Amazon? They updated their website or their listing, their PS5 listing to
Yeah.
say March 31st. And then
And then they drop like 20 minutes later.
yeah, and then they dropped like 20 minutes later, man. Anyone in the chat, did you try for Amazon? And what the hell is going on with Amazon Tracker? Give us some insight. Give us some inside information, man. What's going on with Amazon?
So they've actually done this before. On the same day that they updated a page, they ended up doing a restock. But in the past, usually when they do that and they give a day, it's actually on that day. And what it will usually say is, say like today's the 26th, right? 26th. Then it will say something like, the PS5 will be available until for Prime members until the 26th. And you're like, but it is the 26th. What does that mean? And then it's like, oh, they're restocking today. But now what they're kind of doing is, in this situation, they were already planning to drop at the end of February. I think what we can take from that page right now, and this might be a bold statement, is that we can expect them to restock again in March. But what they wanted to do was get people to sign up for Prime for this drop, right? And basically, like, the people who didn't get through this drop, they still have their Prime membership, and they'll want to renew it so that they can potentially get in for a drop at the end of March. I think that this is more about driving up Prime memberships than anything else for them. So yeah, I have a very strong feeling they're going to drop again in March. But the drop that we saw yesterday was kind of typical Amazon rough,
Right.
like just paying, people could get into their cart and it was like impossible to check out. I mean, I did see people check out, which I'm really glad to see. But it wasn't a great drop. And yeah, it was unfortunately pretty botted. And part of that is because that demand for PS5 has gone back up. So what does that mean? It means people kick those bots back on, and they want to
Mm,
they want to try to pick up more of the consoles because demand is higher. So
yeah.
and unfortunately, Amazon is just not well protected against that kind of situation. They're not really trying to innovate a system like Walmart eventually did with the Q. Like, they're not trying to do anything different for the PS5 or Xbox.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they do restock again in March, then I wouldn't have the highest expectations. I would just say that, it is an opportunity to try to get a console without a bundle. But it's a pain, and you got to have like the app and you got to have the website, and sometimes you have to refresh over and over again. You have to refresh at checkout or close the app and reopen the app. Like, you have to fight to get through most Amazon drops, unfortunately, and they do go very fast.
And Gable's asking, did the demand ever drop? Well, I do remember talking at length. We were both talking about it, Tracker, that demand was gonna go up again, because of Horizon in particular, and that seems to
Yeah,
be the pattern we see when we hear of a major game coming out. Demand goes back up again, but we were at a point where um
we were at like the lowest point basically since the PS5 had come out.
yeah,
In
in
January,
January, yeah.
we were seeing it around like $630 on the secondary market. So that was kind of the lowest point we had seen coming after Christmas and stuff. There was just this massive dip. But like you and I were talking back then, it was like, do we think the shortage is going to end anytime soon? I really didn't think so because, yeah, we have this huge exclusive, really great game, and a collectible and everything like that coming out, uh, along with, we had this kind of big shortage here in February. So the
Hmm.
combination of those two things definitely brought us from, where we were around, 600, 630 up to, I think people are selling for like 750 again or more in some places. So there have been changes in demand for sure. And I don't think that that's in any small part due to the exclusives and stuff.
Yeah, and we'll probably see it again with the, I don't know when God of War is gonna come out, but that's the next major one, I think. And then you know what? Like, the world keeps going through a bunch of crazy crap that keeps affecting uh either the chip shortage or the imports of these chips, because now we got this issue with Ukraine happening, and I don't know in what way that's gonna affect anything, but I'm pretty sure it's
Right.
gonna affect something because from I think Killer Cam was telling me, yeah, or he tweeted about it, that some of the chips kind of go through certain countries in that area, or it could affect like how fast they get to us, or get imported to us. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, there's definitely, I mean, there's just one thing after another,
yeah, it's
really.
crazy, but hopefully we see some relief sooner rather than later, you guys. We're still in February. March is incoming pretty fast, and we shall see where it goes. But if you're following Stock Tracker and myself over on Twitter at 1VideoGameDude, and Stock Tracker's Twitter is in the description, you can definitely keep on top of all the latest restocks, and he's really fast about alerting you guys. And yeah, make sure you're following this man. I'm sure everyone here is, though.
Yeah, definitely watching out. I'm feeling pretty optimistic going into kind of the start of March as opposed to what we were experiencing in February. So I'd say, hold out for some of the drops that we're going to definitely be having sooner than later.
Anything else you want to say about Amazon or any other retailers, Tracker, before we move into some Elden Ring talk?
No things big with retailers. I would, to revisit the top three, I would say is keep Best Buy in mind, Target, and GameStop in the week ahead. I feel like those are probably the three most likely major retailers to restock PS5. And of course, we might see something with Costco because they're doing this weird error thing today. They might
Mm-hmm.
be messing with the pages ahead of a restock. So yeah, if you go to the Costco site right now, it still shows add to cart.
Oh.
It's not working though. It's been showing this for hours.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually just about to post out a tweet about it because people keep asking.
Yeah, man.
um, yeah, and it happens with sites, and it's tricky.
Definitely. Well, Tracker, thanks for keeping us updated on the restocks, man. This replay is gonna be available right after it goes live, you guys, depending on how long YouTube takes to process it. So I'll leave this up, and then I'll put timestamps up on it by tomorrow, so you guys make sure you guys don't miss anything out here. We did talk about the major retailers. We talked about Walmart, GameStop, Best Buy, Target, Amazon, and other retailers to keep your eyes on. And Tracker, how about we jump into some Elden Ring talk, man?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, bro. We had our question. Alejandro Bautista, fellow moderator, was asking, "Is Elden Ring better on PS5 or Xbox?" So, Tracker, this is the big question, my friend, that I have for you. What do you think? And then I'll give my 2 cents. And then anyone else in the chat, what do you guys think? Better on PS5 or Xbox? Elden Ring.
I've been hearing more consistently that it's better on PS5, and this does not come from personal experience at all.
Okay, okay. Have you fired it up yet?
I haven't been able to, no. And
Okay.
and that's part of the things, like I want to open one of my collector's edition, but I also feel like I want to keep the PS5 one sealed because I'm not sure. But then I also want to just play the PS5 version. So still in the middle of a big decision there, just like trying to pick out my starter Pokemon.
Yeah, yeah. Pranked Films, what's going on, man? I'm gonna reach out to you, dude. I've been really busy lately, and I'm sorry, but I'm definitely gonna reach out to you, man, this week. But I have heard that too, man. And so I haven't tried it either as well. But I'm no stranger to From Software games. I really wish that Killer Cam could have made it on tonight, man, because he loves From Software. He tweeted out that he feels that that Elden Ring is the greatest game ever made. So that's saying a lot. And I wish I
Yeah,
could
man,
have
it
had
looks
him.
amazing.
It does, man. It looks good, bro. It looks good. And the thing is, there is some graphical glitches that have heard about that apparently a day one patch took care of. I'm not entirely sure, but I have been hearing some debate on. Well, before we move on to that topic, I do have to say that I believe there is one thing that might give the PS5 an edge, you guys, and it's this right here, the DualSense. I like to play my games with the DualSense, but if the developer is able to make use of it, like with Horizon, Horizon is officially my favorite game to play with the DualSense, and I haven't been seeing a lot of games really utilize it. So if it uses the DualSense, then that would make me want to get the PS5 version. If it doesn't use the DualSense well, I'm gonna play it on Xbox because that's where my friends are at, and um, I don't know how good the multiplayer aspect of the game is. If it's like previous Souls games, I more or less know what it's like. But what I needed to ask also, you guys, and for you, Mr. Tracker, I have been hearing that the game has a little bit of graphical hiccups in terms of frame rate and also some details. Some of the details in the game, they don't look as good as they should. Apparently, a patch is supposed to fix it. But what I have been reading is that Horizon Forbidden West actually got like a lot of reviewers. I'm the last person on earth that would ever really base a purchase on a review, but I did have to look into this, and I did notice that reviewers were kind of deducting from their final score for Horizon based on these graphical hiccups. But then they totally ignored that facts for Elden Ring and gave it a higher score. I don't know if you've heard about this, Tracker, or if you read into it.
Yeah, yeah. There's been a lot of disagreement about that. Yeah. I do feel like there's some, there's a lot of hype going into this game. In particular, people have been waiting years for this game to come out, and I do feel like it was kind of imbalanced. But at the same time, like, reviews are always going to be subjective,
Right.
and it's really hard to base your buying decisions on kind of an amalgamation of what a bunch of other people think, because like every gamer is kind of looking for something different, is how I see it.
Right, right, yeah.
And it could be that we had a situation, right, where a bunch of people who review it are reviewing it because they really wanted to review it and it met the expectations that they had. So yeah, I feel kind of mixed on it. I like I kind of more personally prefer like the cyberpunk scale, right? Where it's just like, did it launch well? It's
Yeah.
like, forgive some errors. There are going to be some like issues on like launch day and day one fixes that need to be done. But did it actually start and play well enough that it was like, okay, at least I can actually play the game a bit. I see that some people have had issues with like stuttering and stuff like that on like PC, for instance.
Hmm. Yeah, is that the reason? Because I'm looking at the reviews right now on Metacritic. It got rated higher on PS5 than it did on PC or Xbox. That's very interesting. It got a 97 on PS5. It got a 95 on PC. Let me see real quick. Oh no,
Geez.
it got a 95 on Xbox, and then it got a 95 on PC, but it got a 97 on PS5. What? I I don't know. I gotta look into what they based that score on, and that's the reviewer score, not the user score. But like you were saying, man, like it's all subjective. I just it's very strange to see it rated differently on different consoles if it's the same game, you know? But
Yeah, it's
I
yeah,
did
go for it.
I did see that it's having problems on both PS5 and Xbox. So Engadget.com did an article saying Elden Ring is having game save issues on the PS5. If you guys have had any issues on it with playing Elden Ring, let us know in the chat and what console you had the issue on. But apparently the PS5 is having a game save issue, and until the problem is fixed, it's recommended that PS5 players should close the game manually to save their progress. So it seems that there's an issue with game saving, and also an issue where your console might switch off unexpectedly while you're playing Elden Ring, or if
Ah,
you put the PS5 in rest mode. You know what? That happened with me on Horizon, by the way. I put the system in rest mode and I woke up and it was off, and I had to turn it back on and it entered like repair mode. Very strange.
I haven't had any like kind of hiccups with the PS5 yet, but there have been times where like Like it sounds like it's revving up to turn on, but then doesn't actually turn on, and I have to do it again. So
Oh,
I don't
for
always know. I got to keep an eye on that.
Daniel Joe, what's going on? And Lera J Bay. Yeah, yeah, J Bay. It does look pretty good, man. Um, it does use the controller really good. Speaking of Horizon,
Man, yeah, I did see your video on that, on the DualSense controllers, man. I'm like, this is what we need, you know?
yeah, I wanted that video to be a bit longer, but I live streamed it that day and I recorded only part of it, and my PC stopped recording. But yeah, it really does use it really well. Um, Going back to Elden Ring really quick again. So if you're playing it on PS5, we got this game save issue. If you're playing it on Xbox, just earlier today, I believe. Yeah, earlier this morning, there was an issue where Xbox players couldn't play Elden Ring online. So I'm not sure if they already fixed that issue yet. Did you hear anything about that, Tracker?
No, honestly, I haven't been following it too much.
Oh, man, so apparently the online service hasn't been up since yesterday on PS5 and PC, and also Xbox. So looks like there's some issues, but I don't think, I think that's normal for any game that comes out. They'll take care of it. And I think the online the online aspects of the game, it, if Elden Ring is like Dark Souls, it's more focused on single player, is what I want to say. But hopefully those issues get ironed out.
Yeah,
Uh,
it takes a little bit of time, but yeah, it'll get there. And I mean, they're pretty committed to this game too. I think, you know, they have big aspirations. Yeah, there's a lot of like game of the year talk and stuff. I'm like, it's still early in the year. I guess we'll have to wait and see, you know?
I know that's how I was with Horizon. I was like, after an hour of playing it, I was like, game of the year, man, game of the year. And then I got all into the hype, and then I was like, oh man, there's still a long time before the year ends. So
Right, right. We're having kind of a crazy, awesome start to the year in terms of, yeah, great games to play
yeah.
for whatever console.
But after it's all said and done, I think Elden Ring, if you're a Souls fan, a From Software fan, you're gonna love it. It's open world Dark Souls, is what it is, and from what I've seen, it has a lot in common with Dark Souls. Up, even with the you died screen is exactly the same, and then you drink out of a veil to replenish your health. All that stuff is there, and you still lose your loots. You still have save points, but if you're playing like after a couple hours, and you die, you're gonna backtrack a lot to your last save point, and then you have one chance to go and pick up your loot. So a lot of stuff in common with Dark Souls. But speaking of Dark Souls, man, what do you think? What's your feeling on From Software games? I know you got the collector's edition for it, Tracker, so I know you're excited
Yeah.
for it. But are you a From Software fan? And do we have any other From Software fans in the house? What do you think about these games, man? Are they some people say they're too difficult, other people say get good. You've seen that on Twitter so many times, get good, and it's not GET, it's GIT, GUD.
Get good. Yeah. No, man, it's just like some games are going to just be really difficult, you know, and that's kind of been their MO like this whole time. I think only people who are kind of unfamiliar with Demon Souls, Dark Souls, any of the Souls games are like, what is it? Why is this so hard? You know, but everybody else who plays them are playing them because they're difficult, you
Right.
know, because they're challenging and stuff. So my feeling about it is, you know, it's nice if there are different difficulty modes in games. Personally, that's how I feel, because like nobody's requiring you to play on an easier difficulty, you know, if you do want it to be difficult.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So you
yeah.
can still play on whatever harder mode or whatever. Um, so yeah, and there are people, yeah, who don't want to have an easy mode in the game, and I'm like, if you don't want to play it, just don't play it on easy mode.
That's
Um,
you and me are on the same wavelength here, man. Nothing wrong with having an easier mode. I can say from first-hand experience, I would enjoy more from software games if they had an easier mode. I'm not ashamed to admit it. It just have the option there. If you want, make the game by default hard, but have that option
right,
for people
so
who
that
have the
people can switch it.
yeah. I'm gonna pick up Elden Ring. It looks badass. It is fun. It's one of those games. A lot of people ask me like, "Well, I've never played a From Software game. What do you recommend?" And I recommend taking some time off of work because you're gonna have to dedicate a lot of time with these games, man. And so
Right.
my biggest thing right now is that my backlog is really backed up. So I'm trying to finish Horizon. I'm trying to finish Arceus still. And I know,
Yeah. Oh man, I gotta
yeah,
get on some RPGs. Like, dang, there's so
yeah,
many good games to play right now.
there are a lot of good games, and I love From Software games, but I just know the last Souls game that I beat was Dark Souls 2, and I have to admit I had to forget everything else going on. I had to forget about my backlog because I put like 2-3 months into devotion to play this game, and that's the thing. You have to sacrifice time and energy, and but if you're a Demon Souls fan, then that all more power to you, you guys. I totally applaud your devotion and dedication. And they're fun games. They're just very time consuming. But I'm there with you, man. I think it at least give us the option. I don't see anything wrong with including an easier mode. It's kind of hard to make time when you have so many other games to play. When you gotta, if you have a busy work life, and you want to just come home and chill with an open world game. I don't know if you can do that with Elden Ring, but can you?
Yeah, I don't think there is one yet, but I think a lot of people are pushing for it, and I honestly, yeah, totally agree. Like, it gives more people the opportunity to enjoy the game, and experience what it has to offer. Because what we would like to be able to say is that there's more to those games than just that they're difficult, right? Is that they like have really interesting worlds and interesting bosses and lore and things that you can experience outside of the game just being a total grind.
Yeah,
So I definitely understand that perspective. Like, I'll probably play on the default difficulty and just like get my butt kicked all the time and kind of just deal with that grind. But
yeah,
there are a lot of, people like, parents and stuff who don't have the time to, to just get their butt kicked for like 3 hours straight, um, and still come out on top in some small way at the end of that. Like, they have maybe an hour to play a game, and you don't want to spend your only hour getting to play a game just getting totally owned. and and really, like, those games are so beautiful. A lot of them are really cool, just interesting worlds, interesting atmospheres, that it'd just be nice to have more gamers able to experience them.
yeah, definitely, definitely. And if you guys played Elden Ring, let us know what you thought about it. I'm gonna get it eventually. Just gotta finish Horizon. And have you been playing Arceus Tracker or?
I haven't gotten super far through it, but I do have, like, I got my Oshawott, the water type starter. I
Nice.
got that one totally evolved. Um and yeah, I've just been kind of working on the team a little bit, but I haven't gotten into the shiny hunting yet, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah, that sounds fun, man. That sounds fun.
Yeah,
I
that's the next level.
I was reading that Arceus actually has the smallest Pokédex. So I don't know how many Pokemon are in Arceus's Pokédex, but apparently it's the smallest one so far in a Pokemon game. And why am I mentioning that? Well, because, and Tracker, I need to ask you what your thoughts about this, dude. Are you a big m- um a Game Boy fan or 3DS fan? Are you into like mobile gaming? Not mobile gaming,
Oh
but
yeah,
handheld
yeah.
gaming. Handheld gaming.
Yeah, definitely. Like handheld consoles were always my favorite growing up, and yeah, with like Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance SP. Yeah, those were all my jam.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. I love handheld gaming. The 3DS is one of my favorite systems. I still play to this day. And I mentioned Pokemon Arceus and the Pokédex because when the eShop closes in March of next year, officially, we are going to lose access to Pokebank. And that's going to make it 100% impossible to bring your legacy Pokemon with you to newer games unless you transfer them to the paid version, which is Home, Pokemon Home. And so, what I wanted to ask you, Tracker, is what are your thoughts about this? Because this has been a subject that a lot of people have been into lately on the channel here. What do you think about the eShop closing? It's closing up on the 3DS and the Wii U, and it did opened up a discussion about these Nintendo games that we're not gonna have access to anymore. So, do you have any thoughts about the eShop closing?
Yeah, definitely. I think personally, I don't think Nintendo's handling this situation very well.
Yeah,
Um,
they're not.
yeah, yeah. I feel like a lot of the criticism is totally spot on in terms of them not really considering how this impacts, gaming and the history of gaming, because this content has value, even without people, as many people playing those consoles and games as they used to. And I think there's a certain amount of responsibility on the part of gaming companies to kind of preserve those legacy items if they can in some kind of way. And it kind of seems like they're going about this in a really haphazard kind of, well, there's not enough people buying stuff, so we're going to close it now. I'm like, how much does it really cost to maintain that? Like
Yeah.
I get where they're coming from as far as like it being a business decision. But there definitely needs to be more of a plan of trying to preserve some of this gaming history.
Yeah, I was totally disheartened when I heard it was closing and that the changes are happening a lot faster. In case you guys didn't know, just a really quick update. In March, in March of I'm sorry, in May of this year of 2022, you can no longer use your credit card or debit card on the eShop. And then in August, you can no longer redeem eShop cards. So if Tracker tweets out a deal about eShop cards, jump on that deal, guys, and get those cards and load up your Nintendo account. And then officially in March of next year, you will not no longer be able to redeem any credit, but you will be able to re-download games that you've already purchased. So if you haven't gotten a chance, I got a couple of videos. I think I might be working on a third video depending on the response for it. But I did put out some videos recommending some 3DS games you guys should pick up. Uh, are you a big gamer on Switch, Tracker? You're a big Switch gamer?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love the Switch. It's a brilliant console.
Yeah, it is, dude. And I'm hoping, that as time goes on and after the eShop closes, that are, the expansion pack. I don't know. Did you purchase the expansion pack for the.
I haven't yet. I
Okay.
haven't yet, but I've been waiting for the right opportunity. I want to play Majora's Mask for sure.
That's coming out soon, right? For the expansion pack?
Yes,
Yeah.
or it may have already done it. I gotta double check that actually.
Yeah, me too. Gotta check on that, man. But hopefully, what I was saying is that hopefully we get a lot of these eShop games. I know Nintendo even officially came out and said that they don't have any plans for these older games. So I'm like, damn, Nintendo, tell us how you really feel, man.
Right?
It's
Like not
yeah.
not hiding at all.
Yeah, they're not hiding, and I was talking to Killer Cam about it, and we were hoping that somewhere down the line they change their mind on that and hopefully starts putting like Game Boy Color games and other game older games, Game Boy Color games even. on their Nintendo Switch Online service. Hopefully sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks too that we're having to count on them to do that, you know, without specific mention that that's the plan.
Yeah, and then Nintendo says that they crack down on a lot of emulation, but they're
Right,
leaving us no
right.
choice. you know, what other choice we got, man? You guys don't want to give us. You guys don't want to make money off keeping these games around for us. What other choice are we gonna have, especially after that eShop closes?
Yeah, that's the weirdest part about it is they are kind of notorious for being the company to go after emulators and people, you know, who like jailbreak consoles and stuff. But yeah, they're kind of pushing people towards that by doing something like this. So I feel like they should definitely come forward a lot sooner with what their plan actually is, so people aren't left guessing. But I'm curious still how they're going to decide what actually gets to be available on the Switch, you know, or through the online service.
Yeah.
Because maybe they won't put everything up there, and you know, like how much are they going to leave out? We just don't know. We're just kind of having to go on trust.
Yep. Definitely, man. Really crazy discussion that I think we could have a long talk about. But we shall see what
For
they do
sure.
with that. Is
I will say I picked up two Pokemon games not long ago. I will admit I put a bid on them on eBay, but I was like, man, I want to get a couple like sealed Pokemon games that I can have on display because like I don't have any of the ones I like grew up with and stuff. So I picked up was it I think Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby or the other way around, but like the remakes of Sapphire and Ruby, and they're totally sealed,
ooh.
and so I'm just gonna have them as part of my nice little Pokemon display.
Did do
But I
you
was very happy to get those.
did you get them for a good price or
Yeah, I mean they were under $100 each,
okay?
so for a sealed 3DS game, I feel okay about that if it's Pokemon, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
especially
because
those in
some of those,
particular.
man, are like thousands of dollars, you know, like when you go back to even just Game Boy Advance, like I think Emerald, if you get that thing sealed, I think it could be worth upwards of like $5,000, $10,000 or something. It's just insane.
Definitely. If there is a one game for the 3DS that I want to buy sealed, only one though. Which one do you think I should invest in?
Oh, that's a good question. Man, I mean, just anything that you feel like you'd have a personal connection to, because I think there are going to be some titles that maybe I would never play, that
Mhm.
because maybe they only made so many of them or whatever, are going to like appreciate in terms of like being a collector's item. But for me, it was like more about, definitely a lot more about the sentimental value of
Yeah.
having this like unopened Pokemon game that you can't buy on a shelf anywhere. And I actually really loved the Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald games. I really liked that region.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I would definitely consider that. Like anything that you have like a strong personal connection to.
I have to say I probably would get that sealed, man. Definitely the Pokemon Alpha, and it's Alpha Sapphire. It wait,
I think it's Alpha Sapphire and
and
Omega Ruby.
Omega Ruby. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, those are gonna be worth
Yeah,
quite a bit. So those games definitely, and sentimental value to me, it would definitely be a Link Between Worlds, because it was the first official Legend of Zelda sequel to A Link to the Past. So that would probably be one I'm gonna try to get sealed. But like you said, might as well get something we have a sentimental value with, right? Or that it means more to us than just um even though I would definitely jump on a Pokemon game if I knew it was gonna be 5 grand in a couple of
I
years.
know.
But
I can't blame anybody for that for sure. Well, that's kind of the thing with Pokemon stuff too. A lot of that stuff does go up in value in the long run. But for me, for sure, I know that now that I have these, like I'll never be able to sell them, regardless of what happens. Like it's yeah, when I like look up on my collect as one of my favorite like collecting shelves or something like that, to be able to see something like this will be really cool. And I'm hoping to get lucky enough to pick up a couple other titles down the road too. I'd love to be able to get some like sealed Game Boy Advance stuff, or to be able to luck out on some like Game Boy Color stuff would be amazing. But you know,
Heck
yeah, the
yeah.
sentimental value of retro games and just retro gaming itself, like just playing old games on older consoles like the 3DS or the DS. Um, you know, the Switch is awesome, but playing on those older consoles is always going to mean something different.
Yeah, definitely, man. We all have a different memories and connection to them. So definitely understand that. But yeah, dude. Um, appreciate you for being on tonight, man. And thank you so much
Yeah,
for the
absolutely.
restock updates and for having that Elden Ring talk and 3DS talk with us. And did you have anything you wanted to say, man, before we wrap it up tonight?
Um, probably just say to take it easy, everybody. Have a nice weekend. Get some gaming in if you can. I'm certainly going to do my best to do that. I know I need it. Yeah, so if you guys need a break, try to give yourself a break and be good to yourself. It's going to be quiet over the weekend as usual for most restocks of just about anything. But if there's anything to do with consoles, like I tweeted out just a little bit ago, to try to clear up for people about what's going on with Costco, it's just airing out, so nobody needs to worry about it. Basically, nothing happens over the weekend in terms of restocks. Sometimes we'll have a retailer hint about something, but for the most part, it's pretty chill. So make the most of the downtime that you guys can get. And we'll have more restocks soon. And if you ever have like an item that you're trying to get that's really hard to get and you seriously want some help, feel free to just reach out to me, because I do like tracking things like collector's edition items and stuff. And I'll continue doing that going forward for sure.
Awesome, Tracker. Awesome, man. Yeah, make sure you're following him, guys. His Twitter link is in the description. And very, very awesome person, guys. Very genuine and very kind and very, very supportive. So, Tracker, thank you so much, dude. And I hope you have an awesome rest of your
Oh,
night.
you're right. Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you so much for having me here, and take care, everybody.
Later, bro. All right, you guys. We're gonna start wrapping up the stream, but I do want to say something really quick. Give you guys an update about our stream schedule. Really quick. A huge thank you again to Stock Tracker for being here. I do have to say, you guys, that I've really enjoyed my time streaming. I used to stream 3 times out of the week, and on Saturday nights. I still want to do the live streams, but I took a couple of weeks off to get mentally stronger. Been having, I've always been really open with anxiety and depression, and unfortunately, looks like I had a little bit of a relapse recently. Everything is good, you guys. I'm doing good. I'm doing well. But I want to thank you all for the support. What that's gonna do though is I probably will not live stream throughout the week anymore. I'll keep live streams to either Fridays and Saturdays or just Saturdays. But I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter at 1VideoGameDude. And I wanted to just let you guys know that, I still love doing the YouTube thing, but the live streaming is probably going to have to take a little bit of a backseat. I'm going to do videos though. I'll have videos throughout the week, and if you guys have alerts on for the channel, you'll know when my videos go live. And I'll usually they get uploaded like during the nighttime hours throughout the week. But that looks like what's gonna be happening, you guys, going forward. I'm not gonna be live streaming throughout the week. I'll do videos, and then Saturday live streams are still on the docket. And every once in a while, I'll do a Friday live stream. But totally have enjoyed my time streaming all those days, you guys, throughout the week. But I need to take a little bit of a break. And when I stream and when I do videos for you guys, I want to be able to be like in a good, positive mental space, because I don't want to I don't want you guys to come here and then like you see me all like like you know, like I want to have that energy. Probably made no sense, but I want to have the energy for you guys. I still love doing the streams for y'all, but love you guys. So just remember that, and thank you everyone who checked out tonight's stream. Thank you Lera, Daniel Joe, Jucky, Clyburn, Wubbs, Barizo, Pranked Films, Alejandro Bautista, J-Bay, Gabo. Thank you all so much for being here, man. Love you guys. Raven and Marky Mark and Paul and Dadbod, Jay Mysterio and Askia Lewis, Montauk Whaler, Gavin Dickey. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate y'all. 23 likes. Thank you guys so much. And nice, Lera. Thank you for the kind words. Thanks, Daniel Joe. Appreciate you guys. All right, you guys. Until we see you next time, stay safe, stay awesome. You're cool. Guys, we're going to see you later, man. Yeah!